Hello, welcome back to another segment in excerpts from a Spiritual Ascension. I was talking to someone the other day, having this conversation about like marriage and how far we have gotten as a society away from actually taking vows of marriage to have that kind of commitment. And just how, I don't know, it's there's still, a lot of weddings going on and stuff, but others are kind of just saying, let's just live together. Especially for me and the people in my age group as we get older, it's kind of like we've already found our comfort in our individuality and our identity, who we are now. We know who we are that we didn't know in our 20s and 30s and 40s. Like you really know who you are. And it's really difficult to now come together with another person of the same age and say, let's do this marriage thing because everyone has their own, say, assets or ways about them, routines. I'm like really early bird and like to go to bed early. That we all kind of have, by this age, our own separate ways of being. So this also led me to the thinking, I always go down a rabbit hole. My mind just is like that. I got to know more. I got to dig deeper, deeper, deeper. And started thinking also about um, how I see others who are still on that fence of claiming that they are spiritual, or even some that say they are of the chosen, but don't truly understand what that means. Um, but still have their foot in religion. And the thing is, when you have, and it's not an overnight thing. It took me 20 years to actually leave the religion that I had been brought up in my mid 20s, to actually in my mid 40s find spirituality. So it's not a quick process at all. And I don't think it should be. But the thing is, I think I did a video a long time ago about doing your research, do your research, do your research. I'm still doing research because there's so many elements to um, our origination, like mankind's origination, like where did we come from, that I'm still trying to understand, to get grasp on. And when you ask the divine for the answers, believe me, they come to you. But anyone who gets in that comfort zone of saying, well, okay, I've discovered spirituality and I know that I'm a spiritual person, and but still holding on to some religious, and this is okay, my this is my thinking, um, still holding on to some religious aspects from their past, because all of us, just even me, who was brought up in religion and for a quarter of a century held on to that this is what was the truth. And then slowly starting to not only get rid of the brainwashing, but to let go of things that were I held on to, that I thought to be true. Because like from the time that you're a baby, and if this is what's drilled into your head from your parents or whoever it may be, that gives you your spiritual upbringing. And spirituality isn't just about being spiritual, like it includes religion. But what I'm trying to say, going around and around, what I'm trying to say is to do your research and for you to ask the divine spirit, however you call your higher source, for the answers and allow them to come to you. And it's not going to be an overnight thing where, oh, I know what the answer is. It's going to take a lot of understanding, research. And the thing is, like I said, we we're moving, if you are on this journey, you're moving from a past life, right? I always say 2 lives within 1 lifetime. You're moving away from that old life, the beliefs that you had in that old life, into this whole new life. And it's like night and day of who you used to be and who you are now. Yeah, I'm still Marilyn. He still can't see. Um, there's certain things that I still enjoy and like and things, but there's new things that I'm learning that I didn't allow the old Marilyn to enjoy that now the new Marilyn is saying I want to experience these new things that I never thought to experience in that old life, or doing away with things I did in my old life um, that I don't want to bring into my new life. So the thing is, like sitting on that fence, being half in, half out of something, you can only be fully in, fully committed to one thing. And if you're really doing your deep down research and trying to understand what spirituality is and what this whole universe is about, you need to commit to being fully in and leaving all those past beliefs and understandings that you took from other people and grasp onto the things that you're learning for yourself. And believe me, it's going to be, well, how do you say that? Like a thing where like I've learned things and then I'm like, okay, that's the answer. That's how it's supposed to be. Maybe a year or two later, I learned something else. And I'm like, this makes so much more sense than what I learned 2 years ago. And so it's not a all in as far as is a thing of growth and development in your spirituality, okay? And not having a foot here and a foot there as far as what you truly believe. Hopefully that's making sense. Makes sense in my mind anyway. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for being here and listening to my gab. It's one of the things my father had told me in spirit when he was giving me all these instructions. He said, you have the gift of gab, which I find funny because as a child and teenager and young adult, I was so shy, like extremely shy, that I did not like to talk at all. But um, I guess this is a part of what I'm supposed to do, is my path. So again, if you would like to have a reading, you would like to talk about your own journey, there is a link below to book time with me. I do have done several courses on the Ascension process, and that link is also below. And I look forward to seeing you next time.